Hey, what's up, guys? You try to be more excited than I am.
No, I'm like realizing that you're way too tall for me.
People don't know that. In real life, people are like, you're so tall, dude. So what's up? We just got like some of our brand new merch in that Tiff is like
Super excited for.
So excited about. So check out her shirt.
Range Day.
Yeah.
Sheepdog.
Nice, I like it. So let's take a look. So show us some of these shirts. Steph.
So show yours.
Okay, so
that's like my number one favorite. It says Dad.
Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna wear this to the next school counselor meeting. I think that'd be great. You know what's funny, Tiff? Our boys, they come home and they're like, hey, Dad, our bus driver's gonna take your class.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you talking to your bus driver about guns? And he's like, we talk about guns every day to the bus driver.
Yeah, it is funny. So that's a cool shirt. So the other thing is we got colored shirts, right? Because before we just had black, but now we have like different colors. So I'm super excited about that. Here's the loading one. Please wait. Here's the American Eagle. Sheepdog.
So they work in like the financial industry. They work in like very high level marketing jobs for law firms and stuff. And they can't like wear like stuff that screams gun owner, but they still want to like support the Second Amendment and kind of be part of that community.
Right, they're still a sheepdog. So our undercover sheepdog line is gonna have more patriotic things that still have the sheepdog on the arm, right? So you still identify with that, but it doesn't scream like I carry a gun or, you know, anything that's to a whatever. So I'm super excited about those new t-shirts. I think they're gonna be awesome. This is one of my faves.
I love it.
I think it's sexy. I don't know. Born tactical. I just think that it's super, I don't know. It just turns me on for whatever reason. I'm just saying. Put that on later for me.
End video now.
A few inches later.
Okay, I think that's awesome.
So this is Ryan's favorite t-shirt.
Yeah,
he
definitely.
loves the colors. Again, with the sheepdog on the arm.
So show me the sheepdog thing so we can get a good close-up of that.
Boom. So, there you go.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Nice.
So yeah, some of them, depending on what kind of shirt, some of them have the white, some of them have colored, gold. It matches the shirt. So.
Nice. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Where can people go, Tiff, to like get some of these products?
So you just go to shoptampacarry.com, just SHOP tampacarry.com,
They know how to spell.
You can see
shoptampacarry.com.
And we got cool stickers. We got the cool hat. Oh, wait. Let me get the hat. Okay. So here's the new hats because I'm a lover of the two-tone. You weren't at first, but now you are, right?
Yeah.
It's so much sportier. I don't know. I
do like it.
It's sleeker. It's sexier. It's just cool.
It's kind of like having crotchless underwear.
And I get tired of seeing you like in all black. So this is also going to be in the undercover sheepdog line. So it's just got a little simple sheepdog there. So nice, so awesome. So I am super excited about these.
Me too.
Let me just put it on because I probably am gonna look at it too. Just saying.
Very nice. Can you do
Blue
the blue
steel.
steel face?
Is that
Almost.
blue steel?
You're missing it. Okay, you ready? I'm gonna go from normal to
Oh, ooh, you do it good.
immediately. All women were immediately turned on. Okay, you ready? I'm gonna do it again. Nobody fall in love with me. What is up, sheepdogs?
We can't hear anything. We can just see like the video that we're playing, and Ryan's over here cracking up at his blue steel.
I'm sexy, man. Like, I should come out with a sheepdog full nude calendar next year. Tell me if you guys want that for Christmas.
Because that's
Down
gonna
in the
be
comments
an epic
below.
fail. We are gonna sell 0 copies. You know
Greg
what?
wants a crotchless underwear.
I was gonna say Kathy will buy your calendar just because she buys stuff from us. I think just to support us, not because she wants to see you in your skivvies at all.
So what's up, guys?
Super excited to be back. We missed last Monday because the
Hold
pickle-
on. Don't tell anybody yet. Hold on. We
Why?
got to build the suspense, Tiffany.
Hey, how do
Say
you
hello.
build the suspense?
Just what we just did. Now, don't tell anybody anything.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, Will? What's up, Ting? Ain't taking no shit. Ting.
Is that suspense sound?
What's up? We got Greg. We got Antonio.
We
Shane.
got Todd from What's Up.
Yeah.
Oh, Will. So Will messaged me today at I don't know, I think this morning, around lunchtime. He's like, because, he's in Qatar. He's like, are you going to be live tonight? So I know to set my alarm for, I think, 3 a.m. with the time change or whatever. And I'm like, yes, but you poor thing. Get some sleep. I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Will, it is so
Tiffany,
crazy.
we are a global phenomenon, all right?
It is
global.
It is so crazy that you want to set your alarm to wake up to watch a bunch of Nimrods like Ryan and I. That's all I can think.
It's a good description of us. Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so do you want to talk about the trip to Mexico? So we went to Mexico 2 weeks ago, right? We left on Sunday or Tuesday.
No,
we
we
left.
just got back last Monday.
Yeah, we got back. So we left 2 Tuesdays ago.
Yeah.
And we were going, where did we go? South of Cancun.
Yeah, we went to the Xcaret Hotel, which is on the Playa de Carmen, river thingy. So it's a brand new hotel. It's only been up for like 2 years or something like that. And it's
let me tell
the
you.
biggest one.
Apparently Forbes, this was in the lobby, there was this big poster. Forbes magazine rated this resort as the #1 resort in the world.
Yes. So what they did was they kind of took the Disney World type of thing, right? And instead of doing Epcot and Animal Kingdom, which they made their own. So you stay at the hotel here.
But there's 5 or 6 parks you can go to for free.
For free, because it's all inclusive. So you can go to the animal one, then you can go to the one with the extreme where you drive things and do zip linings and stuff, and then you can go to the other one, which is scuba diving and da-da-da-da. So you just hop on this tram and you go to these different ones that are 5 minutes away. So super cool.
So this was my first time at a hotel or a resort where
an all-exclusive.
where the bellman comes and he walks us into our room and gives us a 10-minute talk on how to be in our room. This is what he's like, Senor, this is where your refrigerator full of Corona is. And I'm like, this place is amazing.
We refill it every day for you. And here's your snacks. And here's the bubble bath thing. And just so crazy. Ryan and I don't do vacations. And because I'm so cheap, the way we do vacations is...
Our vacation game has been leveled up.
Well,
because I can't go back. I can't go back now.
But it was a business thing, right? It was a business conference. So one of the ladies there is like, oh, this is your first time? She goes, oh, you've been ruined.
Yeah, this is
she goes,
totally different, man.
She goes, if you come back to Mexico, you have to stay here because nothing else compares. So anyway.
You know what? Antonio says, Mexico, hope you don't drink the tap water. Okay.
No.
All of the water is purified in the entire resort.
Yes.
And it all goes through a water softener.
Yeah.
The water is amazing.
And then they also give you, there's glass
tons of bottles of water everywhere
with bottled water, but they handle all that, so you don't have to stress about
like
it. Even
at
the
this
ice cubes, everything.
You would never, if you were at this resort, besides the fact that there's all Mexican people working there, you would never guess that you're in Mexico. Driving there was a dump, right?
I was
there was a lot
saying that. It's not it was like Hawaii though, where you're driving and then we're used to having all the boulevards nicely trimmed.
Like Orlando, it's nice, it's manicured perfect.
Yeah, even kind of in Tampa, but it's overgrown, the signs are kind of torn down, there's a burnt car on the side of the road, things like that. So going to the resort, we're like, ooh, okay,
this is looking a little rough.
As soon as you get in there, though, it is just immaculate. And
they meet you at the door. They are giving you drinks as soon as you get off the bus. Don't answer that question yet. Don't.
Okay, wait. I didn't read anything.
Okay.
So awesome, and the food.
The food was crazy. There's 7 or 8 restaurants at this resort, all over. Everywhere you walk, there's just a random restaurant.
I was talking to my mom, and I'm like, we just kept being let's just go have a latte, because they had lattes there, and they were such great lattes, and they had a little heart on them every time. But we just went and we'd go get something to eat 50 times a day. So it was.
Okay, so Marcel cool. is asking, how was the Chile Relleno? So tell him your first experience with the Chile Relleno, and then what happened.
So everybody knows that I love a good Chile Relleno. So the first thing I was as soon as we got there, I'm like, dude, let's go to dinner, because I need to get a Chile Relleno.
And then we walked up to one of the workers there, and I said, hey, excuse me,
like, is one of these restaurants a Mexican restaurant? And then I was like, actually, I think you guys just call it a restaurant here. And they were like, do you want Mexican food? And I said, yes. And he's like, okay, go to this place.
Yeah, which was the Katina. So we went there, and it was super nice, like 5-star restaurant, right? And you get like this 5-course meal, and there's just like all this great art and everything around us. And then I look up on the ceiling, and the first thing I see is this big painted thing that says Chile Relleno. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So then when the waiter came, though, he didn't know what it was.
No, you asked for Chile Relleno, and the guy was like, we don't have Chile Relleno. And Tiffany's like,
it's on the ceiling.
The ceiling is literally painted, world's best Chile Relleno.
Yeah,
so goes, like, that's some false advertising,
he's
right?
Like, oh, that's just artwork. I'm like, okay, well, you know, so then he pointed to something. He said, right here, this is it. But it had like beef. It had dried grasshoppers.
Oh, yeah.
In dehydrated grasshoppers. I'm like, this is not the Chile Relleno that I'm used to. I said, it's just cheese and a poblano pepper. So anyway, so I didn't get a Chile Relleno there. I was super sad. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the Katina. This is the authentic Mexican food.
Yeah.
This is the only one on the resort, and they don't have it. So I was thinking, like, my life is over. What is the point?
What's the point of living?
What is the point? And then, guess what happened? We went for breakfast the next day, and apparently, this is a breakfast dish in Mexico. So, they had the greatest Chile Relleno I've ever had in my life for breakfast. They had them every single day. So, I ate Chile Relleno every single day for breakfast.
And how was it? How did it rank to all the stuff
it was
you
amazing.
had in like Florida?
So the best one I had here was in Lakeland at Tapatia's. If you guys have never been, that is like the way that I judge a restaurant to Ryan is after I go there, when I leave, do I crave that again?
And want to go back.
Yeah, we go to a lot of good restaurants where it's like, yeah, the food was good, but I don't leave being like, oh my gosh, like I'm craving this. I want to go there, right? So Tapatia's was like my number one here in Lakeland of Mexican food that was just like to bomb. I still think about it. I wish it wasn't in Lakeland because I hate driving. But you think about the salsa. I think about the Chile Relleno. So anyway.
And there was a very attractive waiter there named Jose.
Stop it. So this Chile Relleno was the best I've ever had. I'll probably never be able to top it again. It was perfection.
Okay, so only one thing like that was on my bucket list that I frankly feel like Tiffany was very selfish in not granting to me is on the plane. You know, we're on this plane. We're in the very back. And I said, Tiff, like, have you guys seen the movie The Wrong Missy with David Spade and that other, like, quirky girl?
That is a hilarious
David
show.
Spade falls asleep, and then he wakes up, and she's like, that's a nice way to wake up, huh? So I was like, Tiff, this is our chance to join the Mile High Club. Like, let's make this happen. And she's like, no, I'm not doing it, Ryan. So fine, like nothing happened. But then as we were there in Mexico, we had a chance to go swimming in this cave right here. So it was like 30 minutes swimming in the cave.
We did.
I know, but I was like, inside the cave, I was like, Tiff, we know that when you do it on an airplane, it's called the Mile High Club.
Oh,
what's
God.
it called when you do it in a cave?
So stupid.
So the only thing I could think of is caving it out. So I said, Tiff, like, let's make this happen, right? Like, we could set the precedence in the world.
We did not do that.
But we could have, and we should have.
That's disgusting. There was, like, kids and stuff swimming all over the place. It's just disgusting.
They weren't swimming next to me, Tiff. They weren't
Mile
swimming
Deep
next to me.
Club? Ooh.
Mile
good.
Deep Club. There you
Good
go.
one, Greg. Greg's
Yeah.
joining us again.
Yeah.
He's the guy with the nice profile pic.
We got him suckered in, man.
He got him suckered in. He's
Okay, so
stuck.
this is a cave. It was so beautiful. And we're getting a bunch of videos edited,
Isn't that
but
crazy?
there's so much I couldn't
Oh
get
my
it done
gosh.
in time.
It was just incredible.
Oh my God, dude.
So you have to wear a helmet the whole time because those, what are they called?
Stalactites or stalagmites or whatever were hanging down.
Yeah, the mite, I think, is
It doesn't
hanging
matter.
down. Yeah, so those things were like everywhere, and it got low. So it was so incredible.
But we got to drive like ATVs through these caves, which is super cool. Now, you know, obviously in America, if somebody was like, hey, we're going to build a ATV track through caves and we're going to like destroy part of the cave and make this path, they'd be like, Yeah, no, it's not happening.
Hey, that was George. So George gave us some information on video, and he was so kind. He was telling us how to make Mexican coffee because Ryan ordered Mexican coffee. I thought it was like a coffee, like a con leche, but it's not. It's completely different. It has cinnamon. It
Chamomile,
has orange peel, and apple.
It's crazy.
And it's boiled, and so
boiled in a clay pot.
George, that was his name, right?
I don't know.
George came over and he was on video and he was so kind and he's like, "Where?" So I had to write down our channel because he's gonna watch. So George, if you're watching, you were great. He was so excited.
He was.
Yeah. So that was super nice. The one, before we move on to answer all your questions, I know, but the one crazy thing that I picked up from staying in Mexico is how incredibly kind they are, but also how grateful they are for everything that you gave. You know, like every time we would, give a tip, because even though it's all inclusive, we'd always leave a tip and stuff like that. But
most people didn't, which I was kind of shocked by.
I'm surprised because our travel agent told us in there, like, make sure you bring a bunch of ones so that you can, tip your bellboy and tip your drink, whoever bring your drink and stuff like that. So, and we maybe only went like $100 worth of tips. Maybe
it was a couple $100 probably.
So anyway, incredibly grateful, right? And so helpful. Like, you ask them a question and they would spend as much time as needed just explaining to you and, taking your luggage and just very,
But it's kind of like Disney, right? Like if you go to a Walmart and you walk past a Walmart employee, they give you that like, don't you ask me a question kind of face.
Well, yeah.
But it was, you couldn't walk by an employee at this resort without them being like, hola.
Buenos dias.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, though, that when you did tip them, like sometimes in America, I'm not saying always, but people feel entitled to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I brought your food. Like, are you going to leave a tip?
Yeah.
But here, they're just like extremely, extremely grateful for everything that you give them. So I just thought that was super cool. So anyway, yes, the water was incredible.
Okay, so we're like, they
You
had
just
this.
interrupted me.
No, okay, so we're down by the beach, the first night, right? I think we were sitting or maybe we were walking or something.
Yeah, we were walking.
And all of a sudden this freaking animal like jumps out of the bushes. And we're like, what the hell is that? Is that a monkey? What is it? It was a lemur.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even know lemurs were chilling
beach.
like that.
Yeah.
Lemurs just walking, and it wasn't even like that afraid of us. I did try to catch it, but did not. But I did catch another wild animal that I'll play the video, not tonight, but we'll play it next week.
Oh, really?
I'm not playing it tonight, but I did catch a wild animal, and everybody that I've showed this video to was like, you're freaking nuts.
Yeah. Ryan caught a live animal.
Big ass animal.
Yeah. So you caught two, right?
I caught two of them, yeah.
It's pretty cool. And everybody there was like, at this business conference, it's like a marketing event. So they're not gun people. So Ryan was definitely, Ryan was the guy that stuck out.
Yeah, so it was funny, like, as we're there, there's like a big group of us, and somebody came up and they were like, what do you do? And I was like, I teach people how to shoot guns. And then to see everybody's head turn and freaking look at me, like, who is this guy? What was cool, though, is everybody was like, yeah, who are you? Like, let me see your website.
and then we're sitting down having a nice dinner, and Ryan has a couple glasses of wine.
And I'm very loud when I'm intoxicated.
He talks so loud. I was like this at the table. Okay, tone it down a little. And he's telling his stories. And Ryan's stories, like, I don't know what it is. Why do we have so many crazy stories?
Because we're awesome. We're awesome people.
Normal people don't have one. So he starts telling student stories, right? Like, this happened to one of my students, and one of my students this, and one time I had to do this. And people are just like this. It was so funny.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Oh my gosh. So anyway, it was super cool. Could it have been a chupacabra? That would have been the coolest thing
That would have been
ever.
cool.
I would have put that sucker in my bag.
I would have shot it.
I would have brought it back.
Okay, so Greg says, did you feel naked not carrying? I actually wasn't really even concerned about my gun. I didn't think about it. What does feel weird is that my pants feel different without the gun. But besides that, it was cool. I felt safe on the resort, which, just because you feel safe doesn't mean something bad will happen. Yeah. But what's cool about the way they do it in Mexico is there's lots of checkpoints that people have to go through just to be able to get to the resort.
Yeah, they have it locked down pretty good.
Pretty well,
no one can just get in there.
I'm sure you can get in if you really tried, but
somebody got shot there a few weeks ago at that exact resort because it was a
drug cartel guy on vacation.
That was vacationing there. So, they still go on vacation too. So not everywhere is safe, but even like, I was gonna say, am I allowed to say now that we missed a flight?
Okay, all right. So here's what happened. We're getting on the flight Sunday night, okay? And we all have to wear face masks inside this airport because, like, to be honest, my number one goal on this trip was to not get put on a do not fly list, okay? That was like my major priority. So I'm gonna comply. I'm gonna wear a mask. I'm gonna do whatever you tell me to do, right? So I'm wearing the mask. I'm standing in line. Tiff's like checking in and stuff, giving the dude our passports. And all of a sudden, I see Tiffany just hysterically crying.
No, come on. I wasn't hysterically. I started tearing. Like,
so
I'm
in my
like,
mind,
oh my gosh.
In my mind, I'm thinking, what did this mother effer just say to my wife to make her cry, right? So I go up there and I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, we missed our flight.
It was totally my fault.
We didn't miss
That's
our
why
flight.
I was crying.
We didn't miss our flight by like 30 minutes. We missed our flight by like 5 hours.
4 hours.
Which takes talent. Okay, that takes talent.
I accidentally read our depart time from the next place. What do you call it? Like the layover. So I thought we were leaving at 7. And yeah, we got there and he's like, yeah, your plane left at 2:30. And I was like, oh my God. And he's like, we don't have anything till tomorrow. So all I'm thinking in my head is, oh my gosh, we have to find a hotel. I have to get somebody to watch the kids. I have to figure that out. I've got to go get another COVID test. So I'm freaking out and I'm just like, wah, crying. And, you know, like I get really scared. This is not funny. I get really scared.
What the hell was that? You just made some weird noise. Did you like...
No, I didn't make a weird noise.
Pretty sure you just farted, Tiffany. I'm pretty sure the mic picked that up. We're cutting that out.
Shut up. So I get really scared. And when you go to the Cancun airport, like you get bombarded, right? Need a taxi, you need a taxi. Where are you going? And I was just like, so we go outside the building and everyone's like, need a taxi. And I'm like, yeah. It was kind of crazy. So thank God Ryan was there and he got us a taxi.
Yeah, we had to go get new COVID tests done.
We got the Marriott booked, and so we went there, and what I was trying to say is when we're pulling in, you know, this is like on a major road, but they have like those bars where you have to like give your information and your license plate and everything, and then they like let you through. So I was like, oh, that's different. Because, I mean, here, you just pull into the Marriott. You don't have to.
But you can't even use the elevator without your key card.
Yes.
Like, it was pretty locked down.
Yeah.
But then we get into our hotel room, and I videotaped this, so you guys will see it in the video later. But you know, like the security bar, the security latch, it was totally ripped out of the door like somebody kicked the freaking door in.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, yeah, there's a, like, 87% chance we're going to get murdered here tonight.
Yeah. You guys see Ryan's new glasses?
Oh, yeah, Marcel finally noticed.
Yeah. Cool,
Okay.
right? I did that. Thank you. I tried. You know, if it wasn't for me, Ryan would look like a serial killer. Because when I met him, that's exactly how he looked. Because he was too cheap to get a haircut, so he just shaved his head bald. And you don't look good bald.
No, I don't have the head
No.
to be bald.
You don't have the head, and you don't have, like, see how I have such a beautiful, nice glow? And you're just pasty.
Shut up. Marcel says, how many people try to speak Spanish to Tiffany? Actually, none. Like, everybody there.
I did have a couple.
Oh, did
yes,
you?
I did. Yes. And then they said, oh, you look Spanish. And I was like, no, I'm French and Belgium. Sorry. And
Oh, okay.
it happens here in Florida all the time.
Yeah.
Because people just assume that, because I look like I'm Spanish. But,
Spanish Latina.
well, you thought I was Spanish. That's
Maybe
why
you
you
could
were
be
going
a
to marry
Spanish
me.
Latina for me tonight, Tiff.
Because I will be a Spanish Latina. I will put on my red dress, my, you know.
And can you call me Poppy?
No.
Hi, Poppy.
If you figure out how to look like Uhtred
Oh, shut up.
from The Last Kingdom.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
No?
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Wow, you got upset about that.
Let's move on. Let's move on. All right, guys.
Oh,
So we are super excited to announce. Shoot, I guess I didn't set it all the way up. We
wow,
have.
are you kidding?
Yeah, I know. Whatever. Dumbass. Okay, we've had a bunch of people asking us. We are finally releasing the Sheepdog Masterclass. We are only allowing 20 people to sign up. Only 20, and then it's done. So again, we're just trying to get more and more reviews and testimonials before I finally jack the price up. We're going to sell this course for a lot, close to $1,000. But for right now, it's super, super cheap just because I want to get some more testimonials and reviews. So anybody that's been waiting on the fence about taking some advanced shooting courses with me, if this is your shot,
Okay.
only 20 people,
just
and then it's coming down.
screenshot this. Screenshot it so you have it later. Don't leave us now. Okay, don't leave us now. Screenshot it and go to it later.
And I put a link in the chat.
Yeah. It'll explain everything, what's included. You'll have all the information there, so we're not going to go over it now and bore everybody with the details, but it is going to be awesome. Just check it out later. I'm not advanced enough for it. You know what? If you're not advanced for it enough yet, then that's the Beginner's Guide to Firearms course.
Right.
That's the perfect class to get you prepared for this.
Yeah,
right?
and this is about, it's like a child learning how to walk, right? So a child, when they're born, they don't just come out of the womb, slap on some Adidas, and then start chugging down the track, right?
No, but that'd be pretty sweet.
It'd be pretty funny, but that's just not the way it works, right? A baby comes out, and then that baby has to learn how to crawl.
Yeah.
And then that baby has to learn how to walk.
Yeah.
And then eventually, with consistent, deliberate practice, that baby can finally start running on its own, right? And that's what our courses are designed to be. So the Beginner's Guide to Firearms teaches you how to crawl. The 21-day dry fire challenge teaches you how to walk.
Yeah.
And the advanced concealed carry course called the Sheepdog Masterclass, that is a full sprint running. Yeah. But even if, like I've had, you guys will see when you go in there, the reviews that we have, these are people that have been learning to shoot with me
doing
for
the Beginner's Guide, though.
They've been doing the Beginner's Guide for the last 3 months. So they only have 3 months of shooting under their belt. And now they're doing like advanced shooting drills. You want to hear something awesome?
Yeah.
Great review today from Jim, who's a friend of ours. And, he started taking the Beginner's Guide to Firearms course. He's been to the range with me now probably like 10 times or whatever, right?
Yeah. He comes every other week.
Every 2 weeks or so, he does a private range lesson with me. So his buddy, who was in the Marine Corps, was like trying to teach Jim how to shoot and all this stuff. So the first time I met with Jim was like, yeah, my buddy's been teaching me this and he's showing me this. And I was like, yep, that's wrong.
Right.
And then he told me, when you're shooting somebody, you got to do it like this in a zigzag pattern. And I was like, yep, that's wrong. Tiffany, like the crap this guy was telling him is just mind-boggling. So he's telling me all this stuff, right? And I just said, but frankly, Jim, if you want to be a good shooter, don't listen to anything this guy is telling you. So Jim went shooting with this guy in Orlando just last week or so. And Jim said, I shot better than my buddy, who has been shooting for 28 years, served a combat tour in the Marines. And I was like, wow, did your buddy say anything? And he said, yeah, he's asking about coming to some of your classes. So what's fascinating there, and I said, Jim, one of the biggest problems that I have is I tell people about my training courses, and they're like, oh, my dad was in the military. My brother's in the military. They're going to teach me. Yeah. To be honest, they probably don't know how to shoot.
Right. You were in the military. What'd you learn?
The military didn't teach me anything about guns, right? It wasn't until after that I learned.
Right.
But I just thought, what a fascinating thing that you've only been shooting for 4 months, and you just outshot your buddy who's been shooting for 28, 30 years or whatever.
Oh, here it is. I watch Steven Seagal movies for training. Yeah,
exactly,
We've actually heard that before where people are like, I learned from TV movies.
I asked the lady one time, what's your experience shooting guns? And she literally said to me, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And I was like, you understand that that's not the real thing, right? Like, that doesn't count as training? Yeah. I don't know. It's mind-boggling.
So you don't know what you don't know. Right.
And, the other major issue that I see in the gun world is a fixed mindset. The fixed mindset tells you, I know everything, and there's nothing new to learn. Yeah. Like, even though this is what we do for a living, right? Like, I teach people how to shoot, I still travel the country and attend Travis Haley courses, Chris Costa courses, Larry Vickers courses. Like, I go to these other dudes' courses, and I learn a lot. Yeah. Because the reality is, they are much further along than I am. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to find people that are further along than us and learn from them to shorten our learning curve.
Yeah, but you've been shooting forever and you know a lot.
I know a lot, but I don't know everything.
Right, but you still learn. You keep learning. Like,
because I am a learner. I am dedicated to
learn
for the rest of my life, right?
You are a learner. Boy, are you ever. I'm kind of lazy on that end, but you definitely like to learn. Yeah. You do a great job.
All right, ready to talk about some crazy stories?
So, yeah. Do you have some?
Yeah. First one, let's talk about Curtis Reeves.
That's right.
The Wesley Chapel movie theater shooting, not guilty. Acquitted on all charges, and this scumbag is walking free. And I say scumbag from the deepest part of my heart. Yeah. It's my personal opinion.
Yeah. We watched the trial, so you can't say, hey, there was people that were like, well, if you don't, you don't know what they were saying. No, we watched the trial day in and day out. I truly believe the only reason that he is free and walking is because of the sloppiness
Of the police
of the
officers.
police officers, the photographs, stuff like that, the evidence. They did a really good job at showing how the case was mismanaged, right?
Because I think the police really thought this is such a clear-cut case.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to do everything properly.
Yeah.
Because it's such a slam dunk.
Yeah.
And because they got cocky, they messed it up, and this guy is now walking free.
And so I didn't like the defense attorney. I thought he was a real turd because he was so argumentative with everybody. He was kind of rude. And I was thinking, dude, you're screwing it because people have to kind of like you. But what he did a great job is realizing that they did do these shortcuts and stuff, and he just zeroed in on that. So if he would have instead kind of talked about that, but then really went for the, stand your ground, he was in fear for his life, it wouldn't have went. It wouldn't have went. But instead of doing the whole he was in fear for his life thing, he did the whole this was mismanaged. We don't know how loud the music is. We don't know what the lights. We don't know what he could see. We don't know, which created reasonable doubt. And when you have reasonable doubt, it's like Casey Anthony. You got to let him go because if you have reasonable doubt.
Which is crazy. So here's what makes me really angry and upset about this. Like right after the verdict came down, I was at the gun store and some people there were like, see, I told you you're allowed to use a gun in that situation. And I said, hold on. Yeah. That is not what happened in this case.
Yeah.
So what bothers me about this is now a bunch of people are going to be out there saying,
yeah.
You know what? You are allowed to shoot somebody because they threw popcorn or threw a cell phone or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And the reality is, no, you're not.
Yeah.
So that is not why he didn't go to prison here. He didn't go to prison because the police screwed up.
Yeah.
But you also got to remember, he spent 8 years on house arrest because of this incident.
And so you got to think, like, was it worth it, dude?
Yeah.
Definitely not. And if you saw the look on his wife's face behind him, I'll tell you what, it wasn't worth it because that she was not happy.
Yeah, Michelle says this dude's getting his guns back. Yeah. I mean, he has a right to have his guns back because he got acquitted, but he shouldn't.
And I know that you're not allowed to bring this stuff up in trial because they say it's like irrelevant or whatever. But there was 3 witnesses that came forward that said that they would testify that they had run-ins with this same gentleman in the movie theater within the last 2 years. So I guess him and his wife went to the movies quite often. This is like a thing that they did every few weeks. And this had happened to 3 other people where they said he was extremely aggressive. One lady said that he followed her out into the hallway and, and then it comes out later that, where he was a head of security at Busch Gardens, that he had an altercation where he got fired from there because he attacked another person, like, attack to the ground type of thing. So, like, this dude has a history of other
being
things.
Unstable.
But they couldn't bring any of that up.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, I get it. I understand. But it's almost like when you're looking at it from the outside, you're like, ay. It just seemed crazy. So I think in any other circumstance, he definitely would have been charged and went to jail.
Yeah, so please, I know all you guys on here are smart. You understand that just because this guy didn't go to prison does not mean we should replicate and do what he did. Yeah. Because he was very foolish. He was very unsafe. A man is dead. A woman, a family, a wife, a dad
daughter
doesn't
father.
get justice because of this person doing dumb stuff.
Yeah. So not worth it. Again, avoid situations, high emotion moments, somebody's, yelling at you, being a jerk, throwing popcorn in your face, whatever it is. You have to just take a deep breath.
Yeah, and Greg makes a good point. He says, still, the victim failed to behave appropriately in public. Yep.
Oh, 100%.
And to treat people with dignity and respect.
100%.
I agree. Like, 100%. Nobody is a victim. This is not a victimless crime, right? But we also have to remember what the victim didn't warrant the result. It's kind of like, just imagine me and Lincoln are at Chick-fil-A. I buy Lincoln this $7 sandwich because that's what it costs there, right? And it's french fries and stuff. And Lincoln purposely says, I'm not eating my fries. And I stand up and just freaking backhand him. Okay, that is not a proportional response here, right?
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to eat his fries, you just say, you got to eat your stuff or I'm not going to buy it for you again in the future.
Yeah, we're not going to do this again.
But getting up and like punching him in the throat, that's not a responsible response. Right. And that's the situation here. Somebody who is a former cop, training SWAT teams and had all this training, should have been able to control himself.
Yeah, to de-escalate it, to just, move seats, whatever. I get it. The other guy's being a dink, and, you want to get back at him.
But also, this is like, because I would say something like that. I'd tell somebody, put your phone away, dude, right? Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
But this is also why we have to understand.
And you would also probably do what Chad did.
Oh, yeah. Tell somebody,
like,
mind your own business, bro.
F you, man. Mind your own business.
Yeah. So, I would totally say that.
I know you would.
So,
which scares me.
Yeah. Wait, okay, so you're messing me up here. So what's important here is we have to control ourselves and not do that dumb stuff, knowing that it could possibly escalate.
Yeah.
Because it is just not worth it.
Because that's exactly what he said. I can't believe he shot me. Like, I was being an asshole, but I can't believe you shot me over being an asshole.
Right.
Like, back in the day, somebody would have just punched you, right? Punched you in the face or something.
Yep.
And you maybe go punch it out in the hallway, but to shoot someone, the way I say it is, it's a human life. So if you're going to take a human life because someone called you an asshole and, threw some popcorn at you, I mean, it just doesn't add up. It's not something I want to live with. It's not something that, yeah. So,
okay,
anyway,
ready for the next story?
Yes, go for it.
Okay, so this is a double murder that just occurred in Daytona. Do you know about this?
Oh my gosh. They said it was like
Tell me about it.
Most gruesome murder that they've ever seen in that area. So there was a couple in their early 50s that were riding their bicycles, and this was a completely random attack.
Yeah.
He attacked them with a knife.
What time of day was this?
It was like five in the evening or something like that, or seven. So early evening. And he attacked them, stabbing them multiple times, and then slit their throats. There was blood all over the place. And he didn't even rob them. That's the crazy thing.
So just totally wanted to kill them.
Totally random. They picked him up a couple days later in
5 days
Orlando.
later.
He admitted to everything, and that's all we have so far. We don't know, did he have a motive? Obviously, he didn't. It was random. He didn't know the people. It really sounds like he's kind of mentally ill. Probably it's going to turn out that he has some kind of illness, paranoid schizophrenic, something like that. But he just totally, gruesomely murdered them.
Yeah, so there was another story out of Manhattan today where a guy wearing a hoodie and he had a ski mask on and stuff just walked up to 2 homeless people that were sleeping on the sidewalk and shot them. So the first one he shot, and then the victim started screaming for help and stuff. Bad guy ran away, found the other victim, shot him in the head, then shot him in the throat, and then just ran away. So they haven't caught this guy. They got no idea who he is or whatever.
Why. Wow.
There's no why. The why is he just wanted to see what it was like to kill somebody.
Yeah, those are the crazy ones, right? There's not even a why. Like, you're not robbing them. You're not doing anything. You're just literally how. That's got to be very hard to prepare for that. These people are just riding their bicycle.
Yeah.
It probably what they've done 100 times.
Yeah.
In their neighborhood. In Daytona Beach, they've lived there for a long time, and then all of a sudden, and I mean, you're just driving past this guy. You're not expecting anything.
Yeah, so remember, we had one of the biggest places that our students get attacked is the Pinellas Trail.
Right.
So I've had dozens of people come to our class after getting attacked on the Pinellas Trail. So one of the situations, this guy was riding a really nice, racing bike or whatever, and he was going past somebody, and the other person just shoved him off the bike. So he fell on the ground, and this is one of those bikes where your shoes are actually bolted in.
Oh, yeah.
So he fell over. There's no way to stop it, right? And then the guy pulled out a gun, had it over him, and tried to steal the bike. So my student took off his helmet and freaking hit the guy with the helmet.
Wow.
And then the guy got into his face again with the gun, and then him and his buddies took off with the bike. So a month after that happened, there was video of this young guy riding a bicycle on the Pinellas Trail. He passed 2 younger men. The 2 younger men turned around, shot him in the woods, and guess what they stole from him?
His bike?
His tennis shoes. Stole his shoes, shot him 9 times on the Pinellas Trail,
my gosh.
all over his tennis shoes. So we had a woman not too long ago get attacked. I don't remember what happened exactly with her, but it scared her enough that she said, I'll never go on the Pinellas Trail again.
Wow.
Yeah. Very scary. You know, we get very stuck in like our habits, right? And we think, oh, I've ridden around my neighborhood 1,000 times on a bike. Nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
I've gone for a walk down this trail 1,000 times. Nothing's going to happen.
Right.
You just don't know. You're either going to be ready or you're going to be a victim.
Oh, so Michelle says, I refuse to use the Pinellas Trail. There'll be a lot of crazy people on that trail.
Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
There's no police. They should have a police presence there now, then, if they see this being a problem.
It's a major issue, man. It's a major issue.
Exactly, Ting Ting. For a pair of shoes, that's the crazy thing. We hear all these stories of people getting murdered over, $40 or something like that. Like, it is insane to think that, like, you may not think, even Apple Watch, right? You think, like, big deal. It's,
Well, we were in the gun store the other day, and Lincoln came up to me, and he's like, Dad, you see that guy over there? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, those shoes he's wearing, those are $1,000 shoes. And I was like, oh, interesting. Like,
how does Lincoln know this?
I don't know.
He
Something
must
he
have
sees on the internet.
Yeah.
But I was like, number one, why the hell would anybody spend $1,000 on shoes? But whatever, every teach their own.
You're gonna keep getting $20 shoes from Ross.
I'm happy with my $20 shoes from Ross.
Just
I'll tell you
telling
that.
you.
But I just thought it was interesting. So somebody who is a criminal, a bad guy, may look at this guy and be like, you're wearing $1,000 pair of shoes. I'm going to stab your ass in the parking lot and I'm going to take them. Right?
Craziness. Those must be like Yeezys or something.
I don't know. Some kind of
they
Nikes
are?
or tennis.
Wow.
They just look like tennis shoes to me. I was like, sucker, I could buy those at Ross.
Okay, so Lisa says I won't walk in my neighborhood anymore. So crazy. At least, I guess at least you recognize it, that you are, not in the greatest spot. You see like crime happening and you're like, you know what, I'm not going to go out. But if you are going to go out, at least be prepared. Have some pepper spray, always, and have your firearm.
Okay, are you guys ready for the craziest story I've had this week?
Okay, what do we
This
got?
doesn't happen often, where I have to actually stop my class to yell at a student. It doesn't happen often. But when it happens, like, these are the classes you get to see the real Ryan G in, okay?
I don't think that I've seen this.
Because it gets rough. You heard this story.
Okay.
So the guy's in the class, and I asked him, why? And now this guy, like, imagine your dad almost, right?
Okay.
Maybe a little bit younger than your dad.
Okay.
But I said, why do you want to carry a gun, sir? And he said, I just got off a 30-year prison sentence. And I was like, what? What does that mean? And he says, I shot at a man, and I was looking at 30 years in prison. And I was like, okay, this is going to be a good story, right?
You didn't tell me this story.
I didn't? Okay. So I said, tell me what happened. And he said, my daughter, who's 24 years old or so like that, she's driving home, and she noticed his car following her. So she turned right, the car turned right. She turned left, the car turned left. She was at a red light to make a U-turn, okay? She ran the red light to try to lose this other person. The other person ran the red light and followed her. So she jumps on the phone with her dad, okay? Dad says, drive home, I'll be waiting for you. So the dad grabs his handgun. It's like 11 o'clock at night or so, goes outside, and he's hiding by an oak tree, okay? This happened right in Tampa. It happened in February 2019, allegedly. He's hiding behind an oak tree. Daughter pulls into the house, and this other driver pulls up on the street and parks in front of the house. So now, what should the dad do in this situation? Put it in the comments below. What should the dad do? Daughter just pulled up. This other vehicle, like, parks in the street.
So he's done nothing but follow her.
Nothing but follow her, right? Put it in the comments. I got to see some answers before I keep telling this story here. What would you guys do? What should the dad do? This is how you build suspense, by the way.
I'm like, come on, Rye.
Wait to see who it is. Okay, what else?
Okay.
Call the cops. Okay, Henry, that's good. The dad decided to walk up and bang on the window.
Okay.
Now, I asked him, I said, where was the gun? And he said, the gun was in my waistband. Okay. So I said, do you have a concealed carry permit when this happened? And he said, no. Okay. So you're illegally concealed carrying a gun, and you're, like, threatening this dude or whatever, right? So he said the tint on the window was so dark, it was illegal. Illegal tint. And I'm thinking to myself as he's making, I'm like, okay. Like, this is a perfect example of somebody who did something wrong and is now trying to find every little way to prove the other person's a criminal. But I was like, whatever, dude. So he said, then the other driver sped on the gas and just drove away. And I was like, okay, right? Like, this should be the end of it. So the other driver drove to the end of, like, the street, which is a dead end, makes a U-turn to now
he has
drive
to.
and leave because he has to.
Because it's a dead end.
So then the dad said, as the car was driving at me, I didn't have a choice. I opened fire.
Oh, no, he didn't.
And I was like, so where were you standing? Were you standing like in your yard or where were you? And he goes, I was in the middle of the street, but he was coming right at me. And I'm like, yeah, because
You were in the middle of the street.
you stepped in front of the car is what it sounds like, right?
Wow.
And he goes, and the guy had a bulletproof windshield. Who has a bulletproof windshield? I was like, what makes you think it was a bulletproof windshield? And he goes, because I was hitting the windshield and the bullets were just bouncing off. They didn't do any damage.
Or he was missing.
And I was like, no, you missed, sir. And he goes, I didn't miss. And I said, yeah, you did. So because a bulletproof windshield, as you guys all know, the bullets will hit the windshield and shatter. You're going to know you hit it.
It just won't go through.
It just won't go through, right? And he's like, no, they were just ricocheting right off. And I was like, okay, so you just suck at shooting is what you're telling me, man. But whatever,
So
continue
this
with
is
your
just in
story.
the middle of the street?
Middle of the street in a subdivision in Tampa. So he says, then the car just sped past me and drove away. So
Yeah.
the father, went into the house and dialed 911. And this other driver drove down the street, went to a park, dialed 911. And he said, like 15 minutes later, my house was swarmed with police. There were
And
police,
helicopters.
SWAT guys, they were everywhere, right? And they like storm into my house, they arrest him. So they charged him, Tiffany, charge the dad, with attempted murder, improper exhibition of a deadly weapon, which is brandishing, discharging a firearm in a public venue, and operating a firearm while under the influence of narcotics.
Wow.
Now, this dad claimed to me, he said, I have a morphine pump installed on my body. So he said, that's why I had the narcotics. But is that true? Can you get a morphine pump installed in your body?
Yeah.
Can you?
My uncle
Okay.
has one. Yeah.
All right.
It's a pain pump.
So what he said was, he said, I went
But
to
you have a prescription, but I guess they could still say like under the influence. or
and he
whatever.
probably had a lot in his system, which is why he's making bad
right,
decisions
right.
or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So here's why I finally yelled at him, right? Is because the man said the judge during the case told me that this was a justified shooting. I was like, no, that is not accurate. Okay, you're full of shit. And the reason I say that is there's 10 or 15 other people in the room.
Yeah.
We got young guys in here with families.
Yeah.
I can't let them believe
That they're
that
allowed
this
to-
is justified to just shoot at a car driving at you down the street, right? Like I have an obligation to the rest of the people in this room to make sure that they understand
This is
what you
not
did
what we
is
do.
idiotic.
Yeah.
And what was interesting is he does not have a concealed carry permit. And I said to him, I was like, did you get your certificate? And he's like, oh, no, I'm not taking the class. I'm just here with my daughter to take the class. Fascinating. So that tells me you still are under probation, whatever, because you're not
It's still-
eligible
yeah,
for a
it's
permit,
it's not.
which is why you are still not going to get it, right?
Wow. So, yes, James McKee says dumb. You got that right. Dumb is the perfect answer.
Yeah.
So, and the guy.
Okay, so here's the story. The guy that was in the other car, now the police are there. They got to take a statement, right?
Yeah.
What do you
That's
guys think this other guy was doing? What do you think?
Well, I was
Put it
gonna
in the comments below.
I
Who
was
was
gonna
this guy and
say-
what was he doing?
I was gonna say maybe there was something like she forgot something or she
Trying to
had-
return a wallet or a phone?
or she had the gas thing open, or like sometimes you get that honk to like get over, you got something. I can't remember what I've had, but I've had some times where I'm like, oh gosh, thank you so much. Like
I had this girl one time. I was driving down Highway 60, and it was early in the morning, so not a lot of cars. And a black kitten
that's right.
fell out of her engine and like landed on the road and started tumbling. So I sped up to this woman, younger girl, right? Like 25 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was honking and I was like, roll your window
Your
down.
cat!
So she rolled her window down and I said, do you have a black kitten? And the look on this woman's face was like disgust, right?
Oh my gosh.
Because she thought it was like I was hitting on her or something. And she's like, no. And I was like, okay, well, a cat just fell out of your car and it's like laying in the road over there. So if it's your cat, you probably want to pull over and go get it. And I'm sure like after I
She's
didn't
like,
even
oh.
I didn't even think it was sexual when I said it. I was just trying to tell her, but she must have assumed I was saying something weird, right?
That's funny.
So anyway,
That's funny.
turns out this guy is a private investigator. The daughter had filed a workers' comp claim, and this guy was investigating her, taking pictures and stuff of her, as part of this workers' comp claim.
When you said the dark tint, I was thinking it's probably something like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Craziness.
Yeah.
And he just opened fire on him. That's what I
Open
said.
fire, dude.
All he did was follow her, technically.
And
that's not illegal.
I kept saying to him, because he's trying to justify this, right? He's
Right.
like, he was threatening her, and I said, but was he? Did he really threaten her? Like, he followed her.
He followed her.
He pulled up to her house, but did he actually do anything?
Because that's not illegal.
I get that you're scared, sir.
Yes.
But are you scared enough to pull out your gun and like...
It's almost the same. Remember how I tell you guys the story because it's happened a few times to me, but the last time when I got followed in Ross, right? I'm shopping and this guy's following me, like totally evident, same thing. Like I went through a red light and he went through a red light. Like I'm going through all these aisles, I'm twisting, I'm turning, and he is following me. So that would be the same thing as me just pulling out a gun and start shooting him and be like, he was following me. It's the same thing.
Michelle says it's stalking, which is illegal. That's not stalking.
That's not stalking,
Yeah.
though. It'd be different
like-
if he was, following her every single day and
So,
leaving notes.
Number one, we're not allowed to use a gun in self-defense over stalking. You're allowed to use a gun over aggravated stalking, which let's see if I can remember the definition of aggravated stalking. It's the willful, malicious, and repeated following of another with credible threats to inflict death or great bodily harm, something like that. It's in my book if you guys have it. But that's not what's happening, right?
Right.
Repeated following with credible threats of death or great bodily harm.
Yeah, none of that happened.
None of that happened, right? It's somebody following you.
Yeah. One time. And I don't think being followed one time is even called stalking because
It's not.
stalking is over and over again.
Yeah, we just had a girl in the class. I don't remember her story 100%, but it's her getting divorced. Ex-husband's like super abusive, and she like has real, credible,
Right.
bad things
Yes,
happening, and she could
unfortunately,
not
yeah.
get a stalking injunction.
Yeah.
Because the judge said this is not enough evidence. And I said to her in front of the class, I said, if this is not enough evidence, then what the hell is, right?
Right, yeah.
But it's because you have to have a lot.
Yeah, so the same would go for that. I mean, craziness. Okay.
Hey,
Dan,
thanks, Greg. We appreciate
Thank you so
ya.
much, Dan. Put it towards Ryan getting a bulletproof windshield. We need to do some testing.
There's actually a guy selling some Humvees
I
in
was going to
Lithia.
say, yeah.
I don't know. I just have nowhere to put a
I
Humvee
found
right now.
it, but now we're indeed restricted. We cannot do a Humvee or whatever. Hummer? Is it called? Humvee.
Yeah.
I'm
A
not.
Hummer's the thing you were supposed to do to me in that case.
I am not interested in getting any Humvees. Like, it's just not. I mean, we're gonna have a parking lot full of Humvees. These
No, I am.
big old.
I'm gonna have one,
vehicles.
massive
Okay,
one.
when we have a ranch. Okay.
No.
Get-
And I'm
get
going to
me-
mount.
Get me to a ranch.
I actually called Tampa Police Department and asked them this question. This is a real story.
Oh my gosh! What did you do?
I called them and said, if I buy this is when I was getting ready to buy a 2.5 ton or a 5 ton, and I was going to
Isn't
mount
it called like a deuce and a half?
deuce and a half or a 5 ton.
Okay.
And I was going to mount a big fake Ma Deuce on top. And we were going to have the name of our gun store and drive it around town just to create a buzz. And I said, like, is that illegal for me to mount a big, fake
you-
Ma Deuce on the top of my truck?
Did you give them a name when you called?
Probably. Probably why the cops are always at our gun store. And he's like, no, it's not illegal, but you just know the cops are going to come and pull you over. And he said, after they pull you over enough, they'll realize it's not real, and then you'll be okay. And I was like, okay, I can handle that. I can handle, 20, 30 times of getting pulled over.
Okay, Shane says, Ryan, want to explain the Heller case to chat.
The Heller versus DC case, that's a much bigger issue than we can talk about in here, but that's the entire first chapter of my book, Florida Concealed Carry Law, is explaining the Heller versus DC case and breaking down all the different Supreme Court statements and stuff and why it matters for the Second Amendment. So if you don't have my book, buy it and it'll explain it all.
Yeah. Ryan and Tiff, how come you haven't done a podcast on the Hillsborough County Sheriff murder-suicide that happened a few weeks ago? Because there's
a lot of murder-suicides all of a sudden.
There's a lot of murder-suicides, but there's really nothing there for us, to discuss. I mean, you're dating this guy, you're in a relationship, you're hanging out at your house, and, he pulls a gun and shoots you and shoots himself. I mean, like, I got to be honest, if Ryan decides to do that, like, I'm toast. I don't watch Ryan. I watch him shower every now and then,
But I walk around with guns all the time, right? Taking
No, but I'm
pictures
just
and doing
saying,
stuff.
like-
You don't know.
No, but I'm just saying, I don't have my guard up with you.
Sure.
At all.
And why should
So,
you?
Right. So I mean, if you decide one day that you're gonna shoot me and shoot you, I'm a dead duck because I'm not about to be like, prepared all the time with you or whatever. So that's why we didn't cover it because I mean, it's unfortunate. I feel terrible. A lot of stuff comes out after this guy. A lot of women saying this guy was off the rocker and stuff like that. Yeah.
And he was a sheriff's deputy or the woman was a sheriff's
they
deputy?
They both were.
Oh, that's what I thought. I thought this was the same story.
They both were. So, they're hanging out and they decided to start dating and you have no idea. And then all of a sudden, guy turns out to be a complete nutcase, which you have. You have that.
Right.
I mean,
everywhere.
Yeah, there was that mom that got murdered that was, they found her right outside of her house on St. Cloud, like a couple blocks from our house. She meets this guy through a mutual friend. They start dating. They've been on like 3 dates and then he freaking kills her.
Yeah.
She's got 4 little kids at home. And I mean, there's just, unfortunately.
Yeah, a guy, there was just one of the stories I was looking at for tonight. A guy just started dating this girl 3 days ago. On the after the third day, he gets arrested for something and for beating her up and going crazy or whatever. This is the third day, right? She bails him out of jail. And then as soon as she bails him out of the jail, he freaks out, starts smashing her car and doing all this stuff. Yeah, you got to understand the warning signs here and get away from people.
I'm saying, yeah, if I got to bail you out of jail, like I bailed you out of jail.
Yeah, which is awesome, by the way.
But Paisley was already 2 years old, so I was knee deep in it. I had to. But if I would have had to bail you out of jail for any reason in the first couple dates, it would have been a hard no.
Yeah.
Like, oh gosh, I would be gone.
Well, that's only because you hadn't seen my penis yet at that point. Once you saw the magical fruit, then it's hard to walk away.
This is what we're calling it now, the magical fruit?
Yeah, I've already bought that URL, magicalfruit.com.
Would we be starting our own porn site now? Wow, Ryan. Okay, so are we still doing Clubhouse? No, we're not doing Clubhouse. I wish you were still doing it. I'm so sorry. This is the deal, okay? We're super busy and we get caught up in work and we're like, listen, we need family time. Ryan's only home so many evenings out of the week and he has other obligations with the other instructors that we're training. So he has those on the evenings. Then he does his concealed carry classes on the evenings. Then we do the Monday Night Live on the evening. And what was happening is the kids weren't getting enough of mom and dad. And it was always like, hey guys, here's your dinner.
Stop making noise.
Mom and dad got to go and work, and it was just like we were, thinking they're only in the house for so long and we really want to make sure that we're there for them and we spend enough quality time with them and stuff like that. So now instead of doing Clubhouse, we're probably riding the golf cart to the cows and horses to feed them. Do you have that video?
I don't have it right now. So the other day, Tiff wasn't with us because she's pretty much committed that she does not want to go with us on the golf cart anymore. Because I break too many rules.
I am not a rule breaker. I get super stressed. And he's like, oh, I'm just going to pull up on this person's property and feed their cows. And
so there's a bunch of fields around us, right? So it's not a big deal to pull up and feed these cows some bread or some, whatever.
No, that's fine.
So as we're feeding the cow, I'll play the video next week. As we're feeding the cow, I said to Paisley, I was like, Paisley, see if you can get this cow to get a little closer to the fence. She's like, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to ride this cow. That's what I'm going to do. So we got the cow a little bit closer. I'm holding the phone like this. And I was like, all right, here we go. And I freaking jumped on it. I rode this cow for about a microsecond and landed on my ass. All the cows freaked out and they all ran. But what was crazy is when I got up, then all of the cows came back and they circled me because they were I don't know if they were pissed or if they were like, all right, bro, you tried it, but now give us more food kind of thing.
No, they were going to hump you.
No, it was crazy.
That's what happens in the wild.
So my phone was missing because it got covered up by dirt, right? So I was like, the cows got to stay back. My dog's freaking out. Lincoln jumped in there and I was like, get away from my dad.
So they come home. Paisley apparently got my real reaction. She had a phone held up, and then Ryan's he's showing me this video, and just this is what you see, okay? You see Ryan being like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then you see the sky, you see half of a cow's face and its nose, and then you see the phone in darkness. And all this noise and ruckus, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what did you do? And you hurt your shoulder.
I did. My shoulder still hurts.
So a big reason why I'm so mad, because I feel like I married an idiot sometimes. That's not number one. But number two is because I know that he's going to be sore and in pain.
You just got to do it.
You got
though.
a bad back and a bad body.
No consequences to your actions. Like, I want my kids when they're older to be like, you remember that time Dad rode that cow?
Tiff loves bad boys. I don't know. I don't know if I do. Like, I totally love Uhtred.
She doesn't like it when I'm doing it. I'll tell you that.
I don't like that Ryan doesn't. I hate that he breaks the rules. Like, even the simplest of rules, right? Like, I'm a rule follower, which is a really bad thing.
So, like, they're building this big, huge new subdivision by our house, which means they ripped down all the trees. They created all these massive piles, dug all these ditches. And me and the kids we were the other day were like, let's go play in all this dirt. So we're like running up the hills, jumping out inside of these big pits and stuff. And then we show Tiff the video and she's like, I'm glad I didn't go with you.
Yeah.
The kids like come home, literally imagine somebody that has as much dirt on them as possible.
Yeah.
That was the children. It was awesome.
I don't like it. Do you have anything else? Boys will be boys.
I have lots
Yes,
of
I
stuff.
know. That is totally it. And I just need to, attracts too much popo attention.
I got nothing to hide.
I'm with you, though.
It's not like I have weed on me or anything.
Yeah, I know. But
And like I said to the kids, Paisley's like, can we get arrested for this? I was like, no, somebody's going to show up. They're going to be like, get off our property. And then we're just going to leave, right?
Yeah, is that all that happens?
Maybe. We're going to run. I'll tell you that. Don't stop till you drop is my rule.
So
We
now
see the
you're
police
so now I'm gonna get like helicopters show up at my house. Like you have a husband and 4 children that are missing, and I'll be like, oh great, you know,
Florida man on police chase on golf
what
cart.
did I do? And they're like, he's evading the police
On a golf cart.
on a golf cart, and you know, there's cows involved, and I'll just be like, oh my gosh, like I don't know. Ryan, the OG bad boy. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
How's Paisley's arm? Paisley is healed. Her arm is good. It took about 3 weeks. Ryan took her to the
emergency room or urgent care.
urgent care. We had it x-rayed. They said it was just sprained, but then we thought we were going to have to go back because she was having more pain, but now it's finally gone. So praise God for that.
Yeah.
I was hoping we didn't need surgery. Okay. Bovine harassment. Exactly. Yes. And you don't want that on your record. You don't want that on your record because you know everybody's going to think that it's like
sexual thing.
Exactly. So,
awesome.
I mean, that's terrible.
I still need to get arrested one more time because I've got some other aliases that I need to get on my rap sheet. Greg says, sounds like a jackass moment with a golf cart. Yep, I agree.
100%. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Like, I'm living the dream, man. I am the guy. Like, literally, we had a young girl take the class the other day, and she's like, I was showing your website to my dad, and my dad's like, oh, that's the dude on the golf cart all the time. And, like, that is my status in the northern Valrico area, is I am the guy on a golf cart. Tiff told me the other day, she's like, Ryan, can you go to the store? I need some milk. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to go on the golf cart. So me and Kingston, my little dog, I said, get on the golf cart like noon. And I said, we're going to drive to the gas station on my golf cart, man.
He does. And then he takes the packages to the mail because the mail is just down the road too. So he loads up all the packages, the books and stuff, drops them off at the...
Yeah, I've had cops pass me. Nobody's been dumb enough to harass me yet. We'll see if what happens with that one day.
Yeah, so he likes it. I don't know. I can't believe the time ready. Do you have
PETA is looking for me. Yeah, I'm not a fan of PETA. Not the right person. Ryan could be on live PD. That would be cool.
I think after Ryan's video next week, so you guys have to tune in, PETA will be hot on the trail.
Oh, the cow riding one?
No.
The other one.
The
Tiffany
wild animal that you caught.
Tiffany, even at the end of my ad, she was like,
no animals
were hurt in this. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, obviously no animal was hurt. But I did catch a very big, very large animal in Mexico, and it was dope.
Gotta watch the video next week.
Yeah, it was dope.
Next week.
Okay, so before you guys leave.
Oh, wait. Thank you so much.
Jorge.
Okay, wait. Baby video game controller sits in it. Oh, that's what it is. It's instead of showing us the emoji,
it texts it out.
It explains it to us.
Idiots.
So then we read it like you have a question. Baby video game controller sitting. So anyway, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Okay, so everybody head over to the URL that I just put in the chat. How to gain an unfair advantage during a violent attack so that you can protect your family and dominate a bad guy. I just put it right there.
No, we gotta put it on the screen there.
Put it on the screen too. Let me figure out how to get this to work.
I can't believe it's already over. Claim your reformed Amish. Yes.
Yes, exactly. This is part of my religious belief, sir. And I will also tell you guys before we go, I have successfully, I could probably pass in the Guinness Book of World Records, successfully did not wear a face mask on a 6-hour plane flight because
we figured it out.
I had a piece of licorice in my mouth the entire time.
Thanks to Tiff for bringing the licorice, but we found out that as long as you were eating.
Every single time.
You have to be actively eating or drinking.
Actively.
To not have to wear the mask. So all Ryan did was stick a piece of licorice in his mouth.
Just like this. And every time they came by, I was like, nope, I don't want any water. Nope, I don't want anything. I personally looked at them, and
then
you
he
could
would
see
like
the look
chew
on
it
their
a couple
face.
times. Yeah,
they were like, this mother.
Yeah. Because for 4 hours, he's got a licorice. I mean, you ate a couple.
Yeah.
Chew it slowly.
Because it would dissolve in my mouth, and I got to bite it and get another hard part. But,
so I was able to, you know what I did? You didn't even notice. I just went to sleep. I just took my mask down, and I went to sleep. But they weren't going to go, wake up, miss. Excuse me, miss. You got to put your mask on. They weren't going to do that to me. I was sleeping so soundly. I was like,
and they also
I was
knew
like a sleeping beauty.
Her husband's a freaking pain in the ass. Like, let's not harass this lady.
So they just let me sleep, which was really, really cool. So there you guys go. And Ryan had his tactical pen.
Yeah, I was ready.
So.
Okay, so before you guys leave, click that link in the description down below. TampaCarryAdvance.com. Check out our badass course, the Sheepdog Masterclass. It is going to really give you the skills, confidence, attitude to be able to dominate a violent attack. Check it out. Again, I am only keeping this page up. Yeah. I don't even know how many people signed up, but we are only allowing 20 people. Yeah. And then the site's going dead until I'm actually ready to launch this. Yeah. Until I'm ready to launch it to everybody, which the price will triple. Is that right? Triple in price after this 20. So if you want to get this done, this is a chance at the introductory, I'm just interested in reviews price.
Yep. So make sure you set your alarm for next week, because next week's going to be awesome. We're going to have some really cool videos. We're going to have some really cool stuff that'll be on next week's live. So you don't want to miss that. That's for sure. Right. And if you want some gear, you want, the sheepdog hat or any of the t-shirts, we also have core essentials, carry belts on the website. All great prices, and keychains and all kinds of stuff now, wallets, everything. So if you want any of that, you just go to shoptampacarry.com and we will ship out your order right away.
Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Be safe.
See you next week.